Batman The Dark Knight Detective Volume 5. I've been going through this series, and we're still in the Alan Grant and Norm Breyfogle era of Detective Comics, which is some of the finest stuff. I mean, you can literally start with any of these volumes and have a great time. And honestly, the one thing that gets me on DC Comics, like in this era, there's not much continuity really. I mean, I guess there isn't these days either. But that's kind of what Marvel offers above DC, and that's kind of why I like Marvel a little bit better. But there are storylines in here. So in 612 to 614, 616 to 621, and Detective Comics Annual. So Norm Breyfogle's art is about perfect for Batman, and it is like almost the definitive Batman. So you've got him and Jim Aparo in this area, and he really set those men really set the tone for exactly everything to come as this goes on. So you see this beautiful image right here. It alludes to Catwoman in this storyline. However, it's really Catman who is around a different character, unrelated entirely, and he's got this like tiger he sicks on Batman. It's a fun, quick story in here. And the first few stories are just single one-off things that are going on with Batman before it gets into the 616. Now, there's a break between them. I think there's a crossover between Batman and Detective Comics, and that's in the Caped Crusader volume, and that's why it's not in this one. And they're developing a mini storyline here as a background. Jim Gordon is smoking, and he coughs, and this happens in about 2 or 3 different issues in this volume, where they're trying to like give like an anti-smoking message over the course of it. Silly stuff for the 80s here. But this is extreme 80s all the way through as we take a look at what goes on with Batman. Now, news story starts after that whole ordeal where Batman is investigating into a murder over the course of things, and he thinks the Joker's about to show up. And there's a kind of a past flashback Joker issue where he goes into like who the Joker was and how he hits it here. You can see this is where Norm Breyfogle really shines. He makes the Joker look just like super sinister. And look at very dynamic over the course of this entire flashback issue. And the Joker then is teased to return in the actual Batman series, not in this series. This goes along, and this is a longer story involving Robin, which is Tim Drake Robin. He's not Robin yet. He's studying under Batman. He wants to become Robin. He wants to show his mettle to him. And his parents go off to like Jamaica, and there's this like voodoo cult thing going on out there, and they end up holding his parents hostage for the voodoo cult, and so there's some drug runners from Jamaica and all that Batman's dealing with over the course of this and thinks they're tied in, and of course Tim Drake's panicked this entire time. There's some friction between him and Batman over the course of 3 issues here. So neat storyline. Ends up with Tim Drake's as a spoiler, I guess, for 80s stuff. If there's a way to spoil this stuff, I guess that's how it works. It ends up with him, his mother getting killed, and Tim Drake's father in a coma in the hospital. So he echoes Bruce Wayne's life of losing his parents to criminals over the course of this weird voodoo issue that happens here. And the voodoo doctor's got a son also. Now, the one kind of separate storyline that's very different here is the annual, and this is actually written by Archie Goodwin. Now, Archie Goodwin's was a longtime Batman editor as well, and he did a lot of wonderful work here. And this is drawn by Dan Jurgens with Dick Gordiano, so also great historic DC artists on this. This one features Batman going like to Japan to deal with like some Yakuza people who are caught up with this black guy who like has an obligation to Bruce Wayne. And the black guy actually like had a mistress in Japan. His daughter's now working for the Department of Justice, so she ends up in Japan dealing with it. The guy gets murdered. She's like, why is he like involved in this, and Bruce Wayne and all this? And they eventually find their mistress, finish off the Yakuza people in this like very, very tense drama. This is a very dark and actually probably the most dangerous story to Batman in this entire volume. And all's well that kind of ends well, as the Department of Justice woman kind of meets her stepbrother at the end of it. So very, very interesting on that front. So great stuff. This was like, all these are quick reads, easy reads, super fun. 8.5 out of 10 overall from me. I really enjoyed this volume, and like I've enjoyed all volumes of this so far. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit that like and subscribe button. We'll be back soon.